Hello!
Hello and welcome back to another Fun Fact Friday!
The plight of left-handedness is a tough one. From using scissors to reading a tape measure, from those spiral notebooks and ring binders that make writing a nightmare,
to the ink-covered hands that smear your writing and the elbow knocking at dinner tables.
There are so many tiny things that make being a leftie a pain in the
Fun Fact Friday, week 138.
Premature babies are more likely to be left-handed.
As if being born prematurely wasn't burden enough.
The chance of being a left-hander is much higher.
And with all the connotations of being uncouth and creepy, they appear to be born swimming against the tide.
Or are they?
There are lots of names associated with being left-handed.
And most of them are unpleasant.
In sport, boxers are southpaws, snowboarders are called goofy.
And a left-footed surfer is called a goofy foot.
You can thank Walt Disney for those ones.
Australians would call you a mollydooker.
Mollydooker, meaning that you have girl-like hands.
Our language is littered with inequality as binary as black and white.
Right is considered correct, steadfast, authoritative, conservative, measured, proper and dexterous, from the Latin dexter, meaning right.
Whilst the left is the complete opposite, is associated with the devil and considered loony, clumsy, unlucky, eccentric and sinister.
The word sinister comes from the Latin for left-handed, and the same can be said for many other languages.
Arabic refers to lefties as losers or just difficult.
In Chinese, you're hindering.
German, you're awkward.
Russian, you're an untrustworthy black marketeer.
French, you're clumsy.
Filipino, you're unfaithful.
Portuguese, you're incapable or the devil.
And in Gaelic, you're a roguish strange one.
Then there's all the archaic religious bias towards lefties.
The right is seen to be good and the left seen as bad.
For instance, the Bible makes 100 favourable references to the right and 25 unfavourable to the left.
During the Christian witch hunts in 16th and 17th century Europe, left-handedness was considered hard evidence of demonic possession and witchcraft.
In Christianity, the right is associated with God and the left with the devil.
In Islam and Hinduism, the right hand is reserved for honourable uses such as food handling and ceremonial activities.
And the left for necessary but unclean purposes.
In Buddhism, the right hand fork in the path leads to nirvana.
Whilst the left fork is to be rejected. Bonus fact! I am left-handed. I always struggled to use chopsticks well into my 20s, and one particular non-sober evening, I came to realise there was a very good reason for it. It was pointed out that I had never been given left-handed chopsticks. After this revelation, the extent of my left-handedness felt overwhelming. How many other things had I struggled with because of my sinister tendencies? Then the following morning arrived and I realised it was not my left-handedness that was holding me back, but my inebriated gullibility.
Approximately 10% of the population are left-handers.
That percentage more than doubles for premature babies.
One study of very premature babies found that percentage jump to a staggering 54%.
So what causes left-handedness?
Well, no one's entirely sure. There are theories around genes, sex and fetal development.
One theory is that some element triggers gene expression for both left-handed dominance and early delivery or labour.
But no one has ever identified this element, and there isn't a gene responsible for handedness all by itself.
Recent studies suggest that up to 40 different genes may contribute to handedness.
But the biggest thing to refute the genetic theory is that identical twins who share identical DNA do not always share the same hand preference.
Approximately 21% of all identical twins have different dominant hands. Bonus fact! Mothers aged over 40 are 120% more likely to have a left-handed child.
There are other studies that have linked left-handedness to stress in pregnancy.
And think that higher levels of stress whilst pregnant may cause or contribute to a left-handed preference.
If you cast your memory back to week 122, when we discovered that unborn babies share their mother's stress,
we found a link between early labour and stress in pregnancy.
The stress hormone CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone, that is released by the placenta in response to stress, was measured.
And those mothers with higher levels were shown to give birth earlier.
Because boys are more likely than girls to be left-handed, some researchers think handedness may be impacted by the male hormone testosterone. One thing's clear, nobody really knows what causes cack-handedness. Sorry, leftism. Goofiness. Left-handedness.
With Monday just gone having been Left-Handers Day, as it is every year on the 13th of August, we thought we'd leave you with all the great things that come from being part of the 10%.
And finish with some of the most famous left-handers that you share your sinister ways with.
When it comes to sports, left-handed athletes have an advantage in any sport where two people have to face each other.
That could be fencing, tennis, basketball, cricket, boxing, the list goes on.
Studies have shown that there are more left-handers with IQs of over 140 than right-handed people.
If you suffer a stroke, you'll recover quicker.
You're more likely to become a Nobel Prize winner or a member of Mensa, or, for those of you in the USA, the president.
In the UK, you're more likely to pass your driving test.
Lefties spend less time queuing because when faced with a decision between queues, we tend to favour our dominant side.
You're better at computer games with an ability to process information at a faster rate.
We're likely to, on average, earn 4% more than the right-handers.
Here are some of the world's notable left-handers.
Beethoven,
Albert Einstein,
Bob Dylan,
Bill Gates,
Barack Obama,
Charles Darwin,
Mozart,
Charlie Chaplin,
Chewbacca,
Jimi Hendrix,
Marie Curie,
Leonardo da Vinci,
Winston Churchill,
Aristotle,
Bart Simpson,
Paul McCartney,
Oprah,
Mark Twain,
Babe Ruth,
Joan of Arc,
Lewis Carroll,
Napoleon,
Jim Carrey,
Ned Flanders,
Julius Caesar,
Marilyn Monroe,
Bobby Charlton,
Robert De Niro,
Ronald Reagan,
Eminem,
Morgan Freeman,
Jim Henson,
Neil Armstrong,
Pele,
Bill Bryson,
Tom Cruise,
Judy Garland.
David Bowie. Got that out in one breath. Put between your legs.
Nice. Nothing like a bit of heat between your legs. Put that in the outtakes.
During the Christian witch hunts in 16th and 17th century.
Sorry, I missed my cue. Mothers aged 40.
Yes, if you are 40, you're going to give birth to a left-hander.
And then
Only happens when you're 40.
And then when you turn 41, it goes back to being
Yeah.
right-handed. Or over 40 even. Triggers. No. Because my brain went, woohoo!
Woohoo! If you if you cussed week 22, it's going to be well angry. I said that right, and I was like, oh, I said it right. I haven't said it wrong yet, but for some reason at the end of that, it was like, yay, I've done it.
Whilst pregnant.
Thank you for joining us for another Fun Fact Friday. We really need your help to plant more small acorns and reach more people.
So please like, comment and share to show you care. And if you are on YouTube, please subscribe and get alerts for a new fun fact from us every Friday.
We'll see you next week.